All right, Psalm 128. Let's just call this one blessed because that term is going to come up 3 times in this chapter, and it has honestly come up I don't know how many times throughout the Psalms. So we have probably talked about this before, but this is probably going to give us a little bit of nuance as Psalm 128 is going to talk about who is blessed. Beyond who is blessed, it's going to talk about what parts of their lives are blessed, where they are blessed, and for how long they are blessed, blending a few different themes that we have talked about before, and that being similar to what we talked about in the last chapter, there are some variables to our pursuit of happiness that are simply beyond our control. And once again, the psalmist is helping us to appreciate the ways in which God can help us improve our pursuit of happiness, as he will begin with the who. Who is blessed? It's the one who fears the Lord and walks in his ways. We have updated that language with my paraphrase, saying it's basically the fear of the Lord is somebody who respects the counsel that he is giving us and walks it out, not watering down good advice with bad practice. Beyond that, he's saying the person who respects the counsel of the wisdom of God and walks it out fully can expect for his work to be blessed, as we saw in the last chapter. But more than that, his general well-being to be blessed. And beyond that, it's great to have your own individual well-being blessed, but you're being blessed even more if you have a wife you can trust. And beyond that, kids you can hold your head up about. And so those are the areas of the what that's being blessed in this individual's life. But more importantly is the where. And as we say from time to time, location is a term they harp on in real estate, but it's because it goes back to principles like this, because he is asking for this psalmist to see Jerusalem to be blessed all his days, basically updating that to see good times in the nation where he's dwelling all his days, understanding it is beyond our control to say whether or not our nation is going to see positive times or troubled times during our days. And in days like this, it's easy for us to appreciate, or maybe just a little bit easier for us to appreciate, the ways in which the stability of the nation is beyond our control. But the psalmist is wise enough to realize that God can help create, back in the days of Israel when they were in Egypt, Goshens for us, or places within an otherwise turbulent nation where we can still find peace in our environment, so we can appreciate our individual well-being in the context of family joy or family happiness in an environment that allows all that to have some meaning. And for how long? God willing, to be able to see your children's children appreciate those blessings, reminding me once again how we are probably at our best when we realize how many of the variables to the pursuit of happiness are flat out of our control. But beyond the factors that are out of our control, one of the greatest threats to our peace is us. Understanding that God can give you a perfect life, but if you are making choices that are low-key self-destructive, then what does it matter? What is it worth if he gives you perfection if you're simply going to wreck it? And here's the thing, I say you, but the thing that we all have in common is the fact that we are all short-sighted in one way or another, and we are therefore all self-destructive in one way or another. And I've heard it described this way. You wouldn't necessarily go into your car dealership and try to tell the dealer how to fix your car. It's an illustration I've used before. But one of the reasons you take these high-tech automobiles into people with expertise is because they know the make and the model a whole lot better than you do, even at your best. You got other things to take care of, so you take it to the experts. And so there are times when we wake up and realize the same thing about God. He is not simply the owner, but he is the maker, and his counsel is rooted in a level of knowledge about who we are and what we really want that exceeds our best efforts. And so when I am trying to do what's best for me, I am often making a mess based upon my limited understanding of who I really am and how I really function. Which is why, going back to verse 1, the psalmist realized, blessed is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in his ways. Understanding that he not only has the ability to bless the things that are outside of our control, but he He is trying to counsel us in ways that we can avoid wrecking the blessing in the way that we handle the things that are within our control.